Nearly a fortnight ago, the flag of Communist China flew here commemorating the 70th anniversary of a cruel communist state that represents everything we as Australians are opposed to. They not only stood here and raised the Chinese flag, but they actually sang the national anthem of Communist China. It may be gone now, but all which that foreign flag signifies remains, and is ghosted in this nation by guardians who are meant to be serving us, Australians. Let's get this straight. This wasn't like harmlessly raising the Irish flag on St Patrick's Day. This was something else entirely. Many seem to have let pass them by that China actually physically invaded our country in June when their naval ships sailed unannounced into Sydney Harbour. This wasn't a friendly visit, as the Prime Minister was out of the country. He was in the Pacific discussing what to do about the rising threat China poses to our region. The Chinese were here delivering a not-so-subtle warning. They had heavily armed sailors aboard their boats when docked and staged an open visit for the public to board their vessels. It was a Chinese public dutifully lined up to be taken a tour. Spies were present and were photographing even Australians who happened by. A small contingent of nationalists showed up to protest and found they were being photographed by these foreign spies for future reference. For when the time comes, for when resistance must be stamped out. The Chinese community had been informed ahead of time by special communications and were expected to show up. How was that for having ready-made forces of invaders waiting like sleeping cells inside our own borders? There was a demonstration of military strength and a reminder that if need be, they can slip into our country anytime they want and nothing can stop them. But why worry about military invasion when you have appeasement like that shown by Box Hill Police on the 70th anniversary of Chairman Mao's revolution? What does it matter when the Premier of this state is leading the way by signing us up to economic bondage to China, which automatically brings all the rest? When justifying the flag over a week ago at this station and the singing of the Communist Chinese national anthem, they were doing the military's work for them, softening Australians up for a change in order. Have you ever heard of the butterfly effect? The butterfly effect is when a member of Chinese Politburo lifts a pen in Beijing and the Victorian police start doing their bidding. The Commissioner and all his lackeys justified this outrage with double speak. They were most likely taught by the Chinese. They spoke of working closely with the Chinese community as that there's meant to mean something. If they flew the flag of every country whose community is here in Box Hill, the Box Hill police station would resemble the United Nations. But we know what this is about because the writing is on the wall. It's too bright for us to miss. We know that Premier Daniel Andrews signed a memorandum of understanding by Victorians to join China's One Belt, One Road initiative. The One Belt, One Road is not about trade that benefits the countries which sign up to it. It is about creating an economic and military path for China to rule the world. They've said so. As soon as these countries take the money and are unable to pay it back, the Chinese will see something of strategic value to them, like a port or a nation's power supply. In Australia, there is no need to be so rough since we have a class of traders willing to sell everything of importance to us to China. They are selling our farmland, which grows the crops that we need to eat. They are selling our mines, which contain the minerals and coals which we might otherwise use to power our own industries. They are selling our cattle, our power supplies, our ports. Can you imagine selling the ports where our navies must operate from? What madness! What treason! But they are just not selling these vital infrastructures which are first thing, that otherwise they would target at any time of war. They are selling our land, our homes, our hopes and our children's dreams. They are selling education to students and other internationals, but it has nothing to do with utilising education as a service industry. This is about selling permanent residency. The permanent residency then creates the glut of real estate. Take a look at every major city in Australia and they've been transformed to resemble Hong Kong. These hideous apartment blocks going up in crowded lots wherever there is space enough to squeeze them. Do you think they're there for ordinary Anglo-Celtic European Australians? You're dreaming. You couldn't afford them. No. They're here for these Chinese students coming here. These are for those who soon you will be working for and calling boss, your masters. Those students who are now taking over the universities are slipping into positions of power. When you work in science, you are tooling with the nation's brain. When you work in engineering, you are a stone's throw from working with our defence. But the Chinese are actually working in our defence departments now. You don't just work in technical areas either, the Chinese. They are sweeping the floors of the offices that have the filing cabinets and top security, where they are all locked up since Defence outsources cleaning service in Chinese firms. No joke. Do you get the picture of what's happening here? There's a very special reason that Victoria is bending the knee to Communist China, and that's because our leaders are softening us up for a takeover. This is about a cultural reorientation and appeasement. This is about changing the layout of the store to reflect its new management. We don't come here simply to protest one flag and a small contingent of representatives of a foreign power who sung the anthem of our most dangerous regional threat. We come here because this is just the tip of the iceberg. The flag may not be flown there now, but the policy remains well intact. This is a police force preparing to defend the people and interests of a foreign power while calling them part of our community. They are not our community. Australia is not China. Victoria is not Beijing. And we will not be lied to. We will not have our own police serving a foreign power in its bid to take us over by stealth. Not on our watch. Thank you.